Welcome back, and I wish I didn't have to say welcome back for this computer. So this is the second time it's in the garage. I got this computer a week ago, and what happened was that it was getting the USB overvolt protection, something to that effect. If I have a picture, I'll post it on the screen, and it would post, and after 15 seconds, it would shut down. Fine and dandy. Went through the whole diagnosis, found a good visual inspection, led me to this. They snapped it off, the USB, and well, I guess it was causing all those problems. So I unplugged it and I was able to get it back and working. Everything was great. Sent it back to the customer and he calls me. And I'm like, what's going on? And he says, hey, this thing does not want to turn on. I was like, great. So I brought it in. I've been able to inconsistently replicate the problem. And that's kind of where I'm at with this in this video. I've been working on it a little offhand. Sometimes it turns on, sometimes it doesn't. I've tested the power supply and with a different motherboard CPU setup, tested all the drives, unplugged everything, tested the video card memory, even the CPU, and well, it leads me to there's an issue with this motherboard. So let's see what it's going to do now. Yeah. So this is what I've been getting more than not. It just doesn't turn on. And it's weird because like the other day I wiggled not the other day, well, a couple of hours ago when I was messing with it, I wiggled something, it came back on. So I'm confident this motherboard is dead. So we're gonna have to do the right thing, and with this amazing, awesome case, we're just gonna slap in the ITX board. I know, this is gonna drive you guys crazy. So this is an ASRock H61MV-ITX, and the reason why we're putting this in there is because we're on a tight budget with this. Getting these motherboards, I haven't been able to find one cheap enough. Even on eBay, they're going for a little more with shipping than what the customer is willing to put into this. The computer works great for potato games, and that's the key to keep in mind for this is that the potato games, Fortnite, Fall Guys, well, Fortnite's not a potato game, but Fortnite works perfectly with the system the way he has it. But he plays a lot of other, I think it's Roblox, some Minecraft, stuff like that. The computer works perfect, and it makes no sense to go ahead and put in a new fancy higher end motherboard and everything, because everything works perfect. And to go out and spend probably about $80 on a motherboard when a couple more dollars we could get something newer, yeah, not worth it. I actually had a bunch of these motherboards lying around, a couple of these ITX motherboards. I offered him this one and said if you want it, you can have it, because well, I'm not doing nothing with it. He agreed, so let's go ahead, let's pop this thing in, and let's finally get this computer out for good. Now I know this is a huge monster case, and then we're just gonna put that little itty bitty case in there. I get it, I get it. But you gotta do what you gotta do, and if you're in this market where you kind of deal with older stuff and customers on a budget, you gotta tend to those needs. And you got to be willing to help them out. I mean, realistically, you know, he can't afford $200 for a new high-end computer. I don't have stuff like that I could just let go. But an H61M ITX, I've had that lying around the garage for probably a couple of years. It works solid. I actually got a couple of those motherboards. Why not? If the customer likes it and it makes them happy and it fixes their issues, then it doesn't matter how it looks. Just as long as it works and it works good. Take this out. I always enjoy doing that. Now, it is a real bummer with this motherboard. I really don't know what's going on, and maybe I'll tinker around with it and figure something out, but we got to get his i7 3rd gen out of here. Maybe. Along with his memory. And it's a shame. This is a P8Z77 motherboard, or B, I can forget. It's WS Asus. This is a real nice motherboard, and I'm gonna keep it around, maybe tinker with it and Doubt I could bring it back to life. Maybe some heat gun, a good wash, cleaning. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure what happened with this, but maybe we could bring it back around. Now for our baby board. And realistically, I mean, if you look at this, this is quite entertaining. I mean, it's hilarious. It's comical. I mean, this little itty bitty board and this big monster case. It's funny. Let's get all this extra thermal paste. Now let's get our IO plate in, just like so. And in comes the itty bitty 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 motherboard in this monster case. I mean, it just seems so wrong. But like I said, you know, if you could save the customer a couple of dollars and help them out, I mean, is aesthetics really everything? And yes, they are fully aware of what they're getting. And now that I'm looking at it, this is going to make for some interesting, probably questionable cable management. Because I got things that need to come over here, things that need to go over there. So let me tinker with this off camera and I'll show you how it looks. So after a little bit of trying to figure this out, I got to say this is the worst computer I've ever put together. I am not proud of it. It looks pretty bad. Yeah, it's definitely bad. This is one of those situations where the advice I can give you is that you need to be in constant communication with your customer. Send them pictures, let them know what's going on, and give them options. You know, the option to do this the right way is going to cost a little more money. They obviously don't want to go down that route, but the option to do it the way I've done this and I'm about to show you, well, you'll see. Yeah, this one's pretty bad. As you can see, we have this mini motherboard in this monster case, which that's issue number one. But then again, I've done that before. But the other issue is that the SATA cables are too short. So I actually had to invert the hard drive this way, take the SATA drive out of the caddy and just, you know, use some adhesive and put it that way. My cables, as you can see, comes all the way out this way. This I got to plug in the HD audio, is going to come from the top, so it's pretty bad. I'm not proud of it. I've sent them pictures. I let them know exactly what what I did and how. I let them know what I did. And the other option, they didn't want to pay for longer cables, which is fine. I also offered the option of getting a smaller case. They didn't want to pay for that, which that's fine. That's their right. Then I said I could do it this way. They agreed, so that's how we're gonna do it, and that's how we ran it. So on the plus side, my diagnosis was correct. The motherboard was shorted, possibly because of this USB thing, but this one works fine. I've already stress tested it. I'm doing some updates just to get this thing up to date, but this motherboard works fine. It's fantastic. It is a little bit of a downgrade in the sense that we're going from an H61 from this Z77, so we lose a couple of features. Not the end of the world, but for what they use it for, they wouldn't even know. And yes, I did disclose it with the customer, and it's a bummer with this board, definitely. So now I can finally put this computer to rest, get it out of the garage, and hopefully not have to deal with it anytime soon. I mean, if they bring it back, that's fine. I'll continue to work on it, but I don't want it to keep coming back. I mean, I need this to last more than a week. I think they made about 2 years. Yeah, it's about 2 years, and then the last repair within a week. So failing motherboard, and that's something that you got to consider when you're dealing with people. You got to look at, number one, what is their budget, what are they running, and is the system they have perfect for what they need? In this case, yes, the system they have is perfect for what they need, anything newer would not benefit them at this time. And for that, it makes no sense to try to go ahead and sell a higher end, faster, new computer, which number one, if they can't afford it, they can't afford it. So what you do is you just find another option to meet their needs, get them going. And this probably might last them maybe a year or two before either one, it gets outdated, well, even gets more outdated, or something else goes bad. And then that's the suggestion where you're gonna have to tell the customer, hey, it's time to pull the plug. So comment down below, let me know your thoughts, concerns, criticisms. I really want the criticism on that. Just, guys, go ahead. Just in the comments, yeah, go ahead. If you like this video, definitely hit the like button, subscribe if you're not, and as always, see what we come up with next.